For a century now, these packers have taken movie stars, firefighters, and everyday people deep into places where cars can't go. And with mules, well, the old-time packers will tell you it's a really special experience.
I like their personalities. I like the way they behave. They're a little bit challenging. They're different than a horse. And that's the hardest thing for most people, is they expect them to act like a horse, and they're not. Learning the nuances of the mule can be challenging. It can be humbling. It's a neat journey, but you're constantly trying to read them, trying to figure them out, trying to figure out how you can relate better to them. Usually it's about the person trying to adapt. There was something about, going up and down these trails and over these passes with a string of mules and horses that are just kind of in harmony and working together. And when everything's kind of at peace and harmony and you're going over a pass, it's kind of just a wonderful feeling.
It's a personality and temperament, and I love horses. I've grown up my whole life with horses, but there's a uniqueness to their personality, and they can be incredibly loyal, where a horse maybe not so much.
A lot of personality that maybe it's good for the soul. A lot of it's how you go about handling them. They can be your worst nightmare or your best friend.
Lee and Jen Rosser were both born into the life. Jen's family ran McKee Creek Pack Station. Lee's folks ran an outfit near Mammoth.
Well, my mom put me on, my first babysitter was a horse, so I've been in the saddle since I was just barely born. She had me riding by the time I was about 2 years old.
My family had a pack outfit where I grew up.
Lee works for the Forest Service. His mules help build trails and fight fires. Jen runs McGee Creek.
Foot right there and kick your leg over.
They saddle
Good.
up.
Jake is taller.
And then load up the mules, and each day brings a new adventure. On this day, she's leading a group of teens from a local tribe to do volunteer work in the high country. They will follow the creek, a virtual portal into paradise. And so continues the tradition of pack trains climbing into the Sierra Nevada.
Mules were really a big part of building the West. As a recreational activity, packing started in 1880s. Explorers and adventurers and people were pushing the boundaries. Well, John Muir rode a mule. Right. Brownie was his mule. They were just always a part of the story.
It's these packing operations and the Forest Service that keeps these traditions going. Outside the Forest Service office, we caught Lee and Michael Morse loading up by the light of a new day.
Most of our work is done hauling trail crews, wilderness rangers, that type of activity up and down the mountains.
We had to wrap up the interview because, well...
Yeah, that's Buttercup. She's kind of anxious to get going. Once you put them in the trailer like that, they know they're going to work, and there's nothing mules like better than a routine. So you catch them in the morning, you put a saddle on them, they're ready to go to work.
And work on this day will be up there. Not a bad place for an office. A few miles north, near Mammoth Mountain, you'll find another remarkable vista. The Minarets, Mount Banner, Mount Ritter. On a cool, crisp morning, this view will just stop you in your tracks. Below this spot, at Red's Meadow, another pack team prepares to take us to one of the great wonders of the West. We're traveling with Bobby and Claudia Tanner, another of the legendary packing families of the Eastern Sierra. Their son, Bo, will be a third-generation packer and loves it out here.
It's very peaceful.
With a family like this, you just knew he would get an early start riding.
Practically my whole life.
Red's Meadow Resort and Pack Station has been here since the 1930s. It originally started out as packing the miners.
The mules and horses move down the trail. Destination, Rainbow Falls. It's a slow pace. You don't want to rush things and miss the views.
Whether they have walked down the trail before or it's their first time riding, they all have a good time.
Finally, we walk the last few steps to the edge and savor this fantastic creation.
Rainbow Falls is a west-facing waterfall. So in the afternoon, the sun is shining on the waterfall, and every afternoon there's a perfect rainbow. People are always surprised when they see what it really looks like in person.
Bobby loves to tell the story of these falls, a team of mules, and one of the most classic photographs in Sierra history.
In the mid-1970s, we staged a photo with pack strings down in the river down here at the bottom of Rainbow Falls. It's a very difficult place to get to with a string of mules, but it made for a great photo.
Few people are in a hurry to leave this special place.